It is the RIOT, and right now I'm trying to figure out where dibs comes from.
Oh, calling dibs because I said it?
Yeah, because Nikki was like, I got dibs. And, I mean, I know the expression. I'm familiar with it. You know, I've used it myself.
I feel like it's still a very juvenile expression. Like,
it is,
so
to be clear.
I don't know where it started or when, but I haven't used it in a while. I just felt like it was fitting.
I know, but that's what I'm trying to figure out is, like, where does it come from?
Sure.
Like, a lot of times they're like dibs, but it's short for dibuationary, which was actually about, it'll be like something and it's left over.
Does
like,
it not have a wiki for it?
Let me just say that the etymology doesn't seem to be
quite there.
Not really. Most commonly thought to be from dib stones, counters used in a game. Also, dib means to tap or to press. So, like, almost like you tag something.
Okay,
so like
well, maybe
I put dibs on it.
I'm tagging that it's it.
Or you put your dib stone on it.
Sure.
And like
it's not as special as I thought the history would be.
Yeah, but if you're wondering,
on the Mayflower, they
placed dibs on
the
Plymouth Rock.
Or that was how our Constitution actually became created.
Dibs. So the idea here, Nikki, was well, I'll let you guys find out what Nikki calls dibs on and how ridiculous it is.
I wish I would have used a different word now.
No, Nikki. That dibs is now a Nikki thing.
No, that's fine.
It's going to follow you forever. So let's see. We get into that. Cigars, Captain Marvel money, selfies with a jaguar, which I can't say
jaguar.
Right now. No.
We say
jaguar.
We say jaguar, but the correct pronunciation for the car is jaguar. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yeah,
jaguar.
That's the British thing.
That's the British way of saying it.
And now I can't get it out.
Even though
other
some
than
British
jaguar.
put an R and some people don't put an R.
Jaguar?
No, jaguar.
Jaguar?
That. Yes. Some people do that. Some people add the R at the end.
We also talk Mario Day, bang, demons stealing the car, movie seats, cake. It's just your typical Monday.
Sometimes I'm sad when I hear it, like, placed out.
Like, this is what you guys talked about, really?
I know, like, there's nothing like, I think that would have made it onto the main page of any news source.
Well, Nikki, I often try to avoid some of the larger topics because it's like everybody's talking. Let's find something else.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
We talked about Captain Marvel.
You're right, but when you just, show all your cards.
We talk about daylight saving time.
True.
And dibs.
Well, hopefully you'll enjoy this podcast.
Dibs is important. A lot of people are like, what's that?
It is. We're the ones making the news that makes its way to the trending sites.
You watch, Nikki. Your phone today, it's going to give you all kind of ads for dibs.
It's like, no, my phone's going, did I hear her right? What do we do with that?
Dibs. No, I can't. Don't know what that is.
So enjoy the podcast. Make sure you join us at RadioU Riot for more on Facebook and our YouTube channel.
It is the Riot.
Awful, terrible, horrible, pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm gonna need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
So I don't know if you guys heard about it over the weekend, but we ended up having to change our clocks.
If not, yesterday must have been a mess for you and you maybe didn't realize by now.
You had to move them forward. So if you guys want to go ahead and this is your
opportunity.
Yeah. Everybody just get it out. Like, say what you got to say.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but I just don't know why we have to.
Why do we have to?
Yeah, why do we actually have to? Not everybody does anymore. Not every state.
I'm telling you right now.
I think there's like 2.
Yeah. Well, actually, and it's growing all the time. It's growing all the time. If somebody, like, for example, let's say you decided that you wanted to be a politician.
More patriotic.
I can get you elected. It's easy. All you have to do is come out this morning and tell everybody that you're against daylight savings time. Or are we standard time now, or are we on savings time?
I don't remember.
See, I don't even know either.
Nobody
knows.
We don't know.
They want us confused and docile, like a cow in the field. We don't know what's going on.
So, we lost an hour. This is the one that everybody hates the mostest, especially us, because as we get closer to summertime, this is why it stays lighter later in the day.
Yeah. Okay. So we are now on Eastern Daylight Time or Pacific Daylight Time, just depending on what time zone you're in. And, They just do it to mess with you. Like they're trying to keep you off balance. So you're so focused on the time change, you're not paying attention to the aliens that they built the moon base with.
I think it used to be a farmer thing back in the day.
I don't think it did.
But even that, we were always said, they got up with the light and went to sleep when the light went away.
They're messing with you, Nikki. It's part of the Illuminati. Illuminati means light something, and they're messing with light.
You need to add every conspiracy thing into this moment right now.
I'm telling you, it's how they're keeping control of you. They're trying to keep you off balance and make
but
stuff.
until we actually change, you can't, this isn't the statement you can make and not change your time. You just have to complain about it.
That's why I'm saying I want to. Okay, you know how they take politicians and they'll ask them questions like, how much is a gallon of milk? How much is a thing of bread?
To see if they know what the average person goes through.
If they're connected at all with the average person, well, guess what they need to do? This just shows me the fact that there isn't a politician out there talking about the time tells me how disconnected they are with the average
Good
person.
Point.
You need to get somebody out there that's like, I know that a loaf of bread is $45 and that we need to change this time thing.
It really does need to happen. It's worthless.
I'm just telling you.
But that was our moment of complaining. You expect it.
You know what's really weird is I have oddly just...
Don't say anything, because, you're right. We haven't really noticed it too much, but then that means it'll kick us down the week.
Maybe.
So just watch.
I'm trying not to watch. That's the thing, is that you want to not watch.
Just be careful what you say.
Yeah.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word. Consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. RadioU.
Never throw anything away. That's the lesson. Keep everything.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Ketchup packets, Whopper wrappers.
No.
Because you never know what's going to be worth something down the line.
And if not, maybe you can, if you keep everything and you're known for that, you can move that into a career of some sorts with a hoarding thing later.
Oh, yeah.
But you're not supposed to keep all your trash.
Well, Nikki, what you're trying to do is you're not keeping it for yourself. It's not for you.
Well, then what are you keeping it for?
It's for posterity, future generations, and I believe you hinted at it a little bit, potential money down the line. Because here we have Holly Francis, former assistant to Steven Spielberg. He was working on, does anybody remember HBO before Game of Thrones? Anyone?
What was on there?
Band of Brothers.
Oh, the
World War II thing.
Yes, okay, that was actually very popular.
Right. Okay. So apparently at the wrap party or something, he smoked this cigar.
Steven Spielberg did?
Steven Spielberg, and then he was done with it. He put it out, so she kept it.
And so now she's selling it.
So she's selling it. Right now, it's looking like about $1,500.
Why would you wait so long? Even go back to the Band of Brothers days. You should have sold it back then.
Well, maybe it's just taken this long for it to
go through her stuff. I
Maybe.
bet you she condoed earlier this year.
You think that's what it is?
Everybody did. Everybody went through their stuff.
Could be.
Didn't spark joy, but it sparked some money, so she wanted to sell it then.
Man, this is great. There's a whole list of other celebrity items like this that have sold. Scarlett Johansson's used tissue.
Ew.
Hey, no, you could clone your own Scarlett Johansson. Get to work.
No one has the money for that. You're just buying a used tissue.
A glass that Justin Bieber once drank milk from.
Does it show if those are actually made money or?
And I don't have any amounts right now. The starting bid on this particular item looks like it's at 1,000 pounds, which whatever that is in U.S. currency these days.
Too much.
About $1,400 or something like that.
Too much.
Now, to be clear, it comes framed with a photo of Steven Spielberg supposedly smoking the cigar.
So she was an assistant to him, you said?
That's right. So
she must not be anymore.
You could have this used cigar.
All right. I would have picked a day when Steven Spielberg was a bit more of the it person.
Sure. I mean, the thing here's my thing. I get that it's because he smoked it, but an unsmoked cigar can smell really good. If you just pick it up and smell it, but nothing smells worse than as soon as you put fire to it. Cigars reek. So now you've got a dead cigar,
which has been dead for many years. Many reeking years.
Man. Well, you know what? I hope she gets her money, and I hope she gets herself. You know what? If you gave me $1,500 right now, how about an 85-inch TV? Let's just you know what?
Fine.
Let's just go ahead and let's blow it. It's all going up in smoke just like that cigar anyway, right?
And if you're like, oh my gosh, I would love to have a cigar smoked by Steven Spielberg, then now is the opportunity for you to spend that money.
You've been hanging on to that money, and you're like, should I get a TV, like a big one, or should I get a cigar that Steven Spielberg smoked that one time on Band of Brothers?
She hopes you're going to choose the latter one.
Yeah, you would.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So, hey, did you guys catch the fact that Captain Marvel came out this weekend?
So is it $155 million?
I've seen so many dollar amounts on that it's like, here's the international, here's the local, here's the this,
I think
here's the that.
I think when you put it together, it was that, and it was the second highest comic book movie opening. Maybe not.
In March?
No, I thought it was across the board, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, Captain Marvel made $153 million.
$53 million.
In the U.S., and then I'm showing 455 internationally. Let's see. Massive success, bringing the third highest March opening of all time because, let's see. And then the performance ranks among openings, like other large openings, would be The Dark Knight made $158 million. Mm-hmm. The Hunger Games Catching Fire made $158. Rogue One made $155. The Hunger Games made $152. That was the original. So I guess what they're saying is it's done pretty well for itself.
It seems like it has.
Yeah, there's so many statistics here. I don't know where it fits in.
Are you going to say your thoughts on it? Or?
You know what? I'll just keep it brief and tell you that I thought it was good. I wasn't blown away by it. What I told Eric was that to me, it was like Doctor Strange. It was the next episode in the Marvel Universe. It was good, but it didn't blow me away. Mm-hmm. I had a good time watching it. You know, it's a good movie, but I didn't walk away from it like, man, I got to see that again. Whereas, you know, like with Avengers Infinity War, you're like, I have to see that again.
You enjoy that
maybe
more
right now. But in fairness, a movie with like 40 comic book like action stars versus, you know, one or two. But I thought it was a good movie, and I thought that it was. I thought it handled like her emotional and character journey really well without being
too much.
Yeah, like I just thought they handled the character and everything well. Like it was good. I enjoyed it. Like again, somebody asked me what was your favorite part, and I didn't have one.
Oh,
and someone was like,
I mean, that's just how it is.
They're like, what's your least favorite part? And I didn't have one.
Yeah.
So it was just like...
Well, a lot of people for the reviews last week going into it were like, well, it was kind of boring, but...
I didn't think
maybe
it was
if
boring.
You weren't as much of a Marvel Universe fan.
Here's what I think. The problem with a movie like Captain Marvel is that if you wind the clock back, 10 years ago, your mind would have exploded at a movie like Captain Marvel because it is loaded with things where you'd be like, I've never seen anything like this. It's so incredible. The problem is it comes out in a world where there are so many movies that are just like it that, again, it just feels like the next episode in the Marvel Universe.
We're seeing if you're into seeing all the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing about it is like I don't want to be like reductive. It's not. It's good. I enjoyed it. Like I went to see it. I will probably end up seeing it, you know, again. But at the same time, just like Doctor Strange, when I got done with Doctor Strange, I was like, all right. When's the next Avengers movie?
You're like, check, and to the next one.
And so that's how I felt with Captain Marvel. It was like, hey, one more issue of the comic down, and I'm ready for the next issue of the comic kind of thing. So, I had a good time with it.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
I'm the kind of person that has a tendency to cross barriers. I'm like, that fence is just there for looks. Yeah, it's just...
What is it really there for?
You just put it up there. Like, what gives you the right to keep me out or to keep Mother Nature in? What gives you the right to do that?
Well, I think in this case, it really is to make sure that the people on the other side of the fence are safe. If not, you're learning a lesson.
Mm-hmm. So here's what happened. A woman climbed into the jaguar enclosure.
We still say jaguar.
Yeah. The jaguar enclosure in, Arizona? Wildlife World Zoo near Phoenix. And so a lot of people are, well, okay. She climbed over it because she wanted to get a selfie. And as she's taking her selfie, the jaguar was like, "Oh, hi, rah!"
And it swiped at her and injured her. She she survived, but if you watch some of the video from it, it got her.
Oh, it got her good. Like she's on the ground screaming, "Ah! Ah!
Like, I don't quite understand why she's surprised that it got her.
That's the part that's really dumb.
I don't know why she would have thought that, but people were very afraid that they would euthanize the jaguar at the zoo, but they confirmed through their Twitter account that they would not put the animal down. The animal did nothing wrong. It's a wild animal, so
right.
it did nothing outside of its wild animal stuff, and she went into his enclosure.
It is funny. It's just one of those things where it's like, well, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, like if it got out of its enclosure and did harm, that'd be one thing, but the person went into its enclosure.
Mm-hmm. So in this particular case, it's her fault.
It is her fault.
They put the fence up for a reason, which I feel like here I am like, what? It sounds like I'm the principal. Like those rules are in place for a reason to keep us safe.
Is that she's a wild animal and there are proper barriers in place to keep our guests safe, not a wild animal's fault when the barriers are crossed. So obviously they were concerned for the woman and her family, but she did cross those barriers.
And I'm going to take, ew, man, dude, the wounds are so gross.
It's something.
It looks like her skin is split open, and it looks like she has a bunch of melted cheese in her arm.
Ew, don't say it like that.
What?
It's too much.
Don't you think that's what it looks like?
I thought, what is that on her hand? It's just she has a scrunchy hair tie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's that coming out? It's just a hair tie around her wrist.
I mean, she's going to get stitches. She'll be fine.
You know what she's going to get?
What? A shot?
She's going to get a shot.
I love how Nikki, like, the worst thing that can happen as far as Nikki's concerned is that she's going to end up getting a shot.
She might even get a tetanus shot. I don't know what. A rabies or whatever.
Dude, you got to get jaguar shots now. Like, that's stuff you don't even know about.
You had no idea. You're getting that. And what happens is if the shots are big enough, you might not realize you get an opening shot and you get a closing shot. You get two of them.
It's a series.
It's a series of shots, so she's getting something.
Oh, man.
And stitches.
I'm in that mixture between, like, compassion and, boy, that was stupid.
This one seems like, what did you expect to happen?
Because you don't think that, though. When you're in the middle of doing something, everybody does this.
Climbing the enclosure, though?
No, I know,
that's
but
not
here's
easy.
Here's the thing. Every single human being knows this. You know that it's stupid to do that. You know whatever. But we always think we are the exception. We're the one that it will be okay for. We're the one that will touch the hide item and not get burned. That's the whole news is people that think they were the ones that could get away with it, and it didn't work out.
It's more effort to try to get over the barriers to get to the animal to even take the picture. So I would have thought during that time of you trying to figure out a way into the enclosure, you would have talked yourself out of it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this right now. I blame Instagram.
It's that fault.
It's Instagram's fault.
It is.
In society's fault because it's hard to get enough hearts on a selfie, and so she had an opportunity. She took it,
and she got in trouble. I don't think they've said her name yet, but it was on Saturday at the Wildlife World Zoo, which was near Phoenix.
Yeah. So I guess stay behind the fence. You know what?
No, that's what the fence is already there. We don't even need to be told that.
I got a better one. Just don't go to the zoo.
Oh, now. Oh, come on. That's grumpy.
You could be learning jiu-jitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So, Nikki, what did you do yesterday to celebrate Mario Day?
I actually didn't notice it until last night, and it's Mario Day yesterday because it was March 10th. Mm-hmm. And so the 10 looks like I and the O, so Mario.
Mario.
March 10th.
Mm-hmm. So
didn't know that was a thing until
you
I was ready
anything?
for bed, and I was like, oh, well, too late. Wasn't going to break out the Switch for that.
Man, I'll tell you what, like right now, you don't know this, but Mario is dying inside.
Very disappointed.
He's dying inside.
Oh, I really wanted to sell me a game. Yeah.
He wanted you to get a cake. He wanted you to get friends together and talk about important moments in Mario history and how he's impacted your life and the great debt that you owe to Mario for all the fun that you've had.
I did not do that yesterday. Again, it was at the end of the day.
But you at least did a really touching social media post, right?
I did
a
not.
tribute?
And like with the time change, I was tired too. So I just Mario Day couldn't have come on a worse day.
Man, that's rough, Nikki.
What does Nintendo think I'm going to do? Spend more money? No, there's already the Nintendo tax.
Well,
I don't need Mario tax.
That is kind of the way it works, Nikki. They really just need you to go ahead and
Shouldn't they be giving us something for their holiday?
Well, I mean, they gave us, 20% off on various Mario-related items.
That doesn't even cover the Mario or like I said, the Nintendo tax.
What did they have? They had, there was a bunch of stuff yesterday.
I think there was a bundling sale.
There was and they had a bunch of games that were $40 instead of the usual $60. Whoa!
What if you only took advantage of those sales? I already have Mario Odyssey, so I don't need much else.
Get back to me when it's $5.
But I should have played. It was wrong of me, and I apologize.
Zach says, I'm an only child, but Mario made me feel like I had a brother.
Oh, that's cute, I think. It's very sad and cute at the same time.
Can't tell if serious.
I know. I think because he's laughing on it. He's being joking.
Yeah, but I mean, see, that's a fitting tribute to Mario. On the days when I, couldn't something, Mario was there for me.
We can still send out a tribute, but that was yesterday. So now we know for
it's
next
over.
year.
Yeah,
I had never heard of it before.
I have,
and I just didn't know. So March 10th is Mario Day.
You know what's even weirder is somebody somewhere must have been talking about it, because I remember sometime last week being like, hey, isn't there like a Mario Day coming up? And then when it did, I was like, bro, either you really
disappointing
have it in your head too much, or, your internal clock is set to Mario time. Mario time, man. Come on.
We'll see. Hopefully next year it'll fall on a weekday, and then we could do more with it.
I feel like the other thing we should think about is we did our Riot Live anniversary show last week. What it really should have been was a Riot Live anniversary tribute to Mario.
We could have played some Mario games.
I mean, I still have my Mario hat. Do you still have your Luigi hat?
I do have a Luigi costume.
Boom.
We could have done that. We were going to do a Mario throwback Riot Live event. We were all set to play Mario Galaxy, and it was the day before Mario Odyssey came out.
That's right.
And so we wanted to play Mario Galaxy 2, which is literally my favorite game. And we went to go play it, and we were on Facebook, and I think maybe even YouTube at that time, and we were all set and ready to go. And Mario Galaxy 2 is an older game. And so the software we were doing live stuff with, it would resize it.
It was a mess.
And it was a mess. And we literally could not play it because it was such an old game. We could not stream it live with everybody. It was so disappointing.
Sad trombone.
But then Odyssey was coming out the next day, so we couldn't stream it. It was just a mess.
We streamed Odyssey the next morning.
We did when it was out.
Boy, I was sleepy after that.
Oh, we had a lot of emotions. I was very high and low.
So, hey, Mario, how about we get that Mario Galaxy on the Switch already?
That would be a welcomed addition, and we would do more with it then.
What have you done for me lately?
There are pros and cons to everything in life, except for the Riot. Here, it's no pros and all. It's the Riot on RadioU.
What you drinking there? Is it time for the uppers?
Well, that's
you already had your coffee.
This is Bang.
Yeah.
Potent brain and body fuel.
So we try, Obi tries a lot of energy drinks. And then you also every so often have the sleepy drinks. But you're more into that style. And we found this before our...
Oh, my gosh.
Is it intense? Before our anniversary show last week, because we get really tired during our anniversary events since we do an extra show real late at night. And everybody always says Bang drinks are really good, so you got the cotton candy one.
I did. So I've got cotton candy Bang, 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugars.
What's in there then?
Is it?
I know, what is it?
Well, it's clear. They say they have no artificial colors.
How's the cotton candy taste?
Well,
is it good or too artificial? Well, cotton candy, by way of just its own thing, is very artificial.
I don't know that it tastes like cotton candy. It tastes like
amoxicillin or like the pink stuff.
Actually, that's kind of weird because a little.
That's sometimes the other flavor it really is mimicking. Are
like
your
that?
eyes watering?
Yeah. Why?
Is that from the drink? Or
I don't know.
Are you crying because it's so good? Or what? Are you okay?
I'm just really broken up about it.
Don't drink anymore if it's going to make you cry.
Yeah, that was weird, right? My eye did water. You know what? Like it tastes like, okay, the pink stuff, the amoxicillin, it's got that. It's crazy sweet. Like this might be one of the sweetest things that I've ever tasted, and yet there's no sugar in it. I'm concerned.
So what is the sweetness?
I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's there. And it also tastes like, you know what? It's just got that Red Bull energy drink flavor. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the taurine or what, but usually all energy drinks have this like one flavor that runs through them just a little bit, and it has that flavor in it.
Is it kind of the bitter part of it?
No. No,
so
Nikki.
Sweet?
It's so sweet, I'm going to beat your face in sweet. Like, you will taste the sweet!
You will enjoy this cotton candy.
You will!
So, what's your thoughts, though, on Bang? Are you going to drink it?
I don't know. Like,
if your eye starts watering again, I will say I'll put a flag on that play. I want to make sure you don't.
Get a little concerned.
I want to make sure nothing's wrong.
No, I mean, I think that was unrelated. Sometimes I just weep from individual eyes because society, it's just so hard out there.
Like when those statues, when blood comes out of the eye, it's a miracle.
Yeah, that's okay.
They're good?
I actually do think that it tastes good. I like the flavor. It's just a little
sweet.
It's a little too sweet. I'm probably going to keep drinking it, though.
I was going to say, you're getting actually more positive about it and you're making less faces when you're drinking it because it is so sweet as you take more and more sips of it.
You have to
dull
get
the senses?
Well, you got to get acclimatized to what they're trying to do there, Nikki. You got to let the chemicals come in and take over.
And then you'll really love it.
Mm-hmm. Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Tell you what, I couldn't tell you how many times I feel like I've encountered a dark, evil force at the airport. And especially when you're trying to rent a car. I mean, like...
Who hasn't, right?
You're just standing there and you're like, I don't know what it is, but something dark is happening here. It's not good.
It's usually in the deep of the basement of like some lower level where you're going.
You're like, can you help me find budget? And they're like, step right this way, sir. Gardenia knows exactly what I'm talking about.
She knows it.
She did. She was headed to Ace Rent-A-Car last week where she was going to be renting a car so that she could head down to the Travelodge.
Yeah.
And so she went in there and they didn't have any cars available.
So from this story, does it really clarify, like, did she have a reservation or she was just winging it? She was just trying to get one.
She was just like, hey, I'm coming in to get a car.
Got a plan.
See, man, how many times do we say that?
Got to have the rental agreement. I mean, that way you could find what is the best price.
If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And so she planned to fail, Nikki.
They had no plan. No cars for her. They said that they were sold out.
They had nothing for her. And so she was like, you know what? I'll fix it. So she just, they have video of this, of her just walking outside. There's a RAV4 parked out front that someone else is going to rent. Yeah. She just hops in and drives away.
Because a lot of times they bring up the car and it's got the keys already in it.
Yeah.
How'd she drive through? Normally there's the little guard gate thing. With like the tire thing. Is this a smaller airport or where was it?
I don't know the answer to that. Like it's in Florida. I don't know. Jacksonville, I believe.
Well, it's a larger airport.
Yeah. Well, and it could be that, maybe it was like an off-site thing.
Could be.
I don't know.
But, like normally you've got the guard gate and they're like, well, if you back up over this, your tires are gone.
Yeah. So, but driving forward,
you should be fine.
She'd probably be okay. And so she did. So she went ahead and
took the car,
went down to the Travelodge.
Where she was going. She didn't lie about that.
It was only about a mile away.
And what happened, though?
Well, the police got there and they were like, hey, you stole the car. And she was like, oh, I didn't steal the car. the demon stole the car. Remember that dark force that we were talking about?
She said it.
She was like, yeah, I didn't do that. The demon stole the car, and but I'm good. And I've done a little poking around, like kind of watching her, and I've seen her get interviewed, and I'm listening to her. This woman is primed for a reality show.
Is she?
She needs her own show because she is just... It's that thing where you'll be like, she's crazy. And like, yeah, and what makes good reality TV?
When it has that.
She is definitely living her best life.
Maybe it would be like the retribution could be that this reality show is her now running a rental agency for cars.
I like that.
And she has to deal with everybody else's problems that they're bringing up to the table.
I don't know, Nikki. Maybe just her... like living, because let me give you a couple of other insights into what she's done. She's been arrested a couple of times over the last couple of months. In January, she was arrested for trespassing, resisting police, and giving a fake ID to authorities. Okay. And then in Miami, she was arrested battery on a law enforcement officer, which means she was hitting them, and resisting police and petty theft.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's got some stuff.
She's got priors.
She does.
And I'm telling you, you look at this photo of her and you're going to be like, you know what? She needs her own show. She absolutely
the more priors
does.
you have, it's just not a no then. You got to clear those up first, and then you're even more set for a show.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and just a heads up, like, the police aren't going to be like, oh, you know what? The demons took the car, then could you show me where they are? Because we're going to arrest them.
We need it back. I just feel so bad. Like, you're there, you're working at the rental agency. Today's just a day. In comes this lady acting all out of sorts, and then you just look out and you're like, Bob, she stole the car. She took the car. Go get it.
Like, do you think you get all worked up, or is it just
I'm sure she's worked up at the counter. Normal day-to-day people at the rental thing are all worked up. You're worked up at the counter.
Well, I'm just wondering if, like, maybe she just sat there and she's like, well, she stole the car. All right.
Very calmly took it.
That's another one. Just call the police.
Not sure.
I don't know.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Them honey buns and Cheetos done caught up with me.
The Riot with Nikki.
Yeah, she's a liar, because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie, so...
The Riot, RadioU.
So are we in danger?
I don't know, Nikki. What do you think? First off, how do you feel about Christmas?
Love it.
Do you love it?
Love it.
How much do you love it?
Totally miss it.
Do you ever find yourself every once in a while when no one's looking, maybe sliding a Christmas song in here and there?
No, I don't do that, but I do find myself like dreaming of it. Not like a white Christmas. It's not where that line came from, but
seems like it is.
Just, for a moment you think, oh, what will it be like at that time of the year?
Yeah. When can we get back to that?
When will we get to close? And it's not even Christmas time, like Christmas Day.
Right.
But it's more like...
It's the lead up.
Once Halloween's done, that's prime time right there.
That's it. That
is much, much great times.
Okay. Well, there is a man... Well, he's been arrested, and here's the thing. I'm going to use the word allegedly a lot, okay? In fact, can I just say allegedly now and then...
It's a blanket allegedly.
It's a blanket allegedly. So there's a guy driving a minivan. There's a guy sitting behind him. The guy sitting behind him is whose name we actually know. He's 25 years old. His name is Clayton. And the driver had to pull the minivan over at some point and jump out of the car. When the police showed up on the scene, the two men were over the guardrail and had obviously been an altercation of some point. You see, the driver had been listening to and singing Christmas music.
And it wasn't Christmas time.
And Clayton began choking him from behind to the point that he was afraid he was going to pass out, so he had to pull over.
Who's that mad about that? You got to worry. You have to be afraid.
I know, but now you see why I'm worried.
Well, you're the one who listens to Christmas music sometimes, just randomly upstairs, so you need to be more worried.
No, I don't think so. I feel like this is a joint problem because compared to like a lot of the staff around here, they're like, yeah, Christmas is good like a week before. And then you're done. And Nikki and I are like, yeah, it's November. Bust out the Christmas music.
Let's do it now.
And so I feel like you and I are right now in a prime position for Hudson to come up behind us while we're getting the Christmas channel ready or something.
Start to choke you.
And to begin choking us violently. And I feel like you and I have got some training to do.
think that Hudson doesn't deal in that sort of method of sharing his disappointment in our choices.
If I showed you this photo,
does he look nice?
Meth would really...
Oh, is he on meth?
I don't know, but it wouldn't take much to convince me.
Allegedly. Remember you had a blanket allegedly.
I did,
and
allegedly.
It works even on that.
Allegedly.
We shouldn't be strangling anybody.
Wouldn't take much allegedly to... Yeah.
That's why you're afraid to just do anything. Just maybe he was a driver, like was he an Uber driver or something? Or a taxi driver or what?
It doesn't say
Was
that.
he a Lyft?
I think they were just...
Were they friends? That's even worse.
I mean, I'll tell you what, they're probably not friends anymore. So here's a quote. The victim told the trooper he was singing Christmas songs, so the victim said Lucas tried to choke him to make him stop singing.
Oh, now we know the guy's Lucas. We know the guy.
Oh, that's his last name.
Okay.
So, well, no, we still don't know the name of the victim.
The victim, all right.
Just the criminal complaint was filed against Clayton Lucas for choking his friend for singing Christmas songs.
Listen, be safe, guys. Be safe.
Nikki, what's the best way to spread Christmas cheer?
To sing loudly for all to hear, but not if you're in a minivan.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
Now, if you're just joining us, you probably can't tell the big difference. But something has significantly changed in this room in the last hour.
We're talking about, so it's not the time change then.
It's not that.
That was an hour, but what else changed?
Well, somebody in this room got a gym membership.
Oh, yay! Are you going to go too? Or are you still deciding?
You know what? I haven't decided.
You have to put in your like 6 weeks at your other gym.
Yeah, I know. You got to, like, I work out at this one gym where it's like you got to, in writing, explain to them that you're leaving.
Almost with not a doctor's note, but something along those lines. And like, why are you leaving?
And it's almost like, regardless, they're going to run, like, you're still, even when you cancel, they still charge you one more time for another month.
Yeah.
Like, they got you coming and going.
But if you want to, you got to start the work. You're gonna You have to start the process of it.
So, Nikki, are you planning to go work out before the show?
I'm going to try a couple of times. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, or tomorrow might be a later in the day one. But it's a 24-hour gym, so I think I might try that.
Okay. Well, the thing that I was thinking is, like, this morning I went to the gym and I was like, all right, this would be a good test run to see if I show up earlier than the gym opens. But like I got there today, the gym was open.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, maybe I don't really need
a 24-hour
a different gym. Yeah, because this place is open by the time I get here. And I'll just have to say at this point, I can't get up any earlier.
So you don't want to make your workout longer?
It's like I'm already getting up early. And I don't know, though. Every time I say that, I don't want to get up any earlier. I end up going, it's like 10 more minutes.
If you woke up earlier and you then just went on in, like if you woke up earlier naturally, that'd be one thing.
Yeah.
That'd be nice then.
We don't.
You're not doing that.
No. I will say this morning, I did wake up a little before my alarm.
Sure.
And so I went ahead and got up and went.
Well, I also was afraid, I was more embarrassed, like if you and I start working out at the same place in the morning before the show, and if any of you listeners just get a hold of that and are like, we're always together, which we're not.
We're not.
But that doesn't help the argument.
But we're starting that way.
Yeah, it doesn't help the argument with it. So I got dibs. You're more than welcome to, but I at least signed up. So I'm there.
You don't have dibs.
If you don't want to come, you can, but I'm there first.
Okay, first off, getting up and working out before the show is my thing.
Well,
so
not at this place, it's not.
If anybody is joining anybody, you're joining me.
Yours? All right, yes.
I'm the pre-workout club.
Okay. But not at this place.
You're welcome to join if you want to.
You have dibs?
I've got dibs on anything before 6 a.m.
Okay.
And anything after 10 a.m.
All right.
So, there's a window there. I don't know how you're going to work it out, but I'm just saying, the idea that it's your place, that's not your place.
No, but the gym, if we decided to do it like a riot thing, I'm going to signed up already.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
It's just be weird for you guys.
It's not weird for me.
No, not us, but for it is weird when you guys see us and we're not doing the show, but we're still together.
No, okay, Nikki, I just want to let you know because this isn't part of your routine yet. you're not going to see a big crowd there,
I won't
okay?
notice anybody. Are you sure?
When you get there
like 5 in the morning?
When you get there like 4:45,
I thought that was prime gym
you're
time.
thinking that there's all these people that are going to be outside waiting for you to get there, and the lights are going off. There's Nikki. There's Nikki.
Not that. Not that.
I just want you to know that when you walk in and there's a couple of people that are like leaned over asleep on the treadmill, that's about what you're looking at.
And there's barely someone at the desk working.
Like
barely.
Technically they're working, but
you've never seen the person.
They're not.
Wow, I'm excited to see how that works out.
Okay. And did you get the standard or the black card?
I got the standard one.
You didn't go in for the $20 a month?
I did not.
Okay.
There's not a need for that yet.
Well, I was kind of thinking about maybe one of those things where, like, they showed us all these little massage tables. Mm-hmm. That seemed nice. Like, maybe after the show, like, you and I could go and sit in those. Like,
the hydro massage?
Yeah.
Then we got to get up even earlier.
No. This is a post-show.
Oh, after the show.
Pre-show workout, do the show, then post-show, go over there. You know, I think it sounds fantastic.
Think it could work.
Project 86, Sheep Among Wolves.
Seth said maybe a Riot Live gym edition.
Come on, let's do it.
Every morning we're on Facebook Live.
I really don't want to do that.
That's what I'm afraid it would turn into.
There are two types of people in this world, and neither one of them likes the Riot. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
I think it is safe to say that movie theater seats have never been bigger than they are right now.
Size-wise? Or yeah.
I mean, and part of that's a reflection of, tubbiness in the general population.
Our popcorn tub?
Yeah. But then also, I think it's a reflection of certain expectations. As movie theaters have had to compete with your
home,
your 50-inch TV, you've got surround sound, you've got 4K digital images, you've got all this stuff. They've had to compete. And one of the ways they've done that is bigger seats and reclining seats.
I think that just depends, too, on some theaters really push that. It's like the one we like to go to, the seats that they have at that place, those are very large and they're reclining. And
they're the best reclining seats that I've ever encountered in a theater.
Where I've gone to like AMC ones, and those are pretty good. Or the Cinemark ones, and it's like, oh, they're pretty good, but there they just no. Everybody wants a very large seat to just get comfy in.
Just as a complete side note, you know what I don't like is I went to an AMC theater over the weekend. I don't like the trays.
Oh, it's not every theater, though.
Oh, man,
I wish it could go somewhere else.
It's just one of those things where, like, can we get this thing to fold away or something? I don't like it out in front of me. It's like I'm not eating anything. I'm not drinking anything. Can I put the tray away, please?
Do you think subconsciously they have it to where it's set there all the time to make you think about food at the theater?
Don't you want to put something on this tray?
Yeah. Like, seriously, is that some sort of movie theater trick?
I think it has more to do with it would cost more money and more space to make the tray go away than it does for it to fold out. Plus the added bonus of, hey, maybe if we put a tray here, we'll put something on a tray.
Could be that people would probably break it more putting them up and down.
Oh, sure.
So you're right. I bet it is cost.
But when I went to see Captain Marvel over the weekend, I went into the theater and, again, pretty big seats, trays, recliners, whatever. And it was just funny how, like, now it's not general seating. Like, I had a reserved seat at the movie theater. The guy next to me was obviously very unhappy.
With the size of the seat?
Well, that I came in and sat down next to him. And I get it. I'm a stranger. He's a stranger. We don't know each other. We're just sitting there. But, like, he all but audibly was just like, oh, gosh.
Does he think you just chose that seat? Like, you already bought it ahead of time.
I don't know. But it was just one of those things where it's funny how it was like, what, sir,
hey, you can't make everybody happy.
You're not at home. Like, you know that, right? I mean, the fact that, you and I have our own armrests in these recliners. Our recliners just happen to be sitting next to each other. And I'm sorry that's not good enough.
This isn't a flight, and it's the airline, and we're all disappointed to be sitting next to each other.
I was just amazed at and maybe it was me. I mean, like, to be clear, I took a shower and shaved before I went to the movies. I was clean, and maybe I didn't smell good, but I certainly didn't stink.
No, he just had a bad attitude.
He just didn't want me sitting next to him.
He didn't want anybody. It wasn't you. He didn't want anybody sitting next to him.
We can't confirm that, though.
No, I
it
can.
may be that he recognized me and he was like, oh,
no,
my
here he's going to talk the whole time.
Great. Great.
Hey, Chris in Dayton texted us that the movie theater he goes to, they have heated seats in the theater. That could be nice.
Well,
because if you had air, like, are they cooling seats in the summer too?
No, they never have that.
They never? I had that in a car once, and that was nice.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a nice feature.
I will say that during the winter when you go to the movies, I could get into heated seats. Because the only problem
Especially if you, like, tweak your back or something. You going to the movies is, like, for your health.
I don't know if it's such a great idea. It's like it's a reclining heated seat. I use my coat as a blanket. Now I'm just looking for a place to get a nap.
They're trying to then get you to have to come back to see it because you fell asleep.
Chris says he just texted back, Nikki,
no cooling. That's a shame.
I don't know if I would want a cooled seat or
you
not.
Do.
Most of the time.
You do.
You think
you
so?
really, really, really do.
I'll tell you what I really like. I like when it's freezing cold outside, but I'm warm under a blanket inside. I'm already falling asleep just thinking about it.
Brought all your blankets and your food and all that stuff. Maybe that's why the guy didn't want you next to him.
Maybe not. Maybe, you know what? There's just something about me.
That was like the lady who practically brought like a picnic basket and snuck it in and was eating next to me.
Hey, would you like a nice brie?
Yeah, it's like, you didn't buy that here.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
So the riot anniversary happened last week. We had a live show, which you can actually watch the archive of, riot.radiou.com.
I feel like we need to say it a different way. We always have a live show, but this was a live evening show that you could watch.
All right, that's fair.
It wasn't on Radio U. It was a special show for you to watch us host.
Yes, that. So then you can also at riot.radiou.com catch some other archives, including Obadiah Plays the Division 2, our interview with Demon Hunter, and so on and so forth. Now, probably the most important and best part of our anniversary last week was the fact that we had a cake.
We did.
And it was a chocolate cake with buttercream icing, and it was so good.
Yeah.
Now, Nikki and I on Friday morning, we had a piece of the cake, some leftovers. Nikki had hers during the show. I had mine immediately following the show with a cup of coffee. It was fantastic.
Yes.
And then when it was all said and done, there was some leftover cake.
Yeah.
And I said to Nikki, hey, do you want any of this cake? I'm going to take it home, share it with my roommates, like some other people, whatever. I want you to know that I took it home.
Yeah.
And I didn't share it with anybody.
You ate all of it.
I ate all
of the cake. Really? Now I don't know how much was left, so I can't judge you too harsh because I got a smaller cake. I didn't get as large of one as we normally do.
Right. Well, let's look at it this way. It was enough for 3 people to sit down and have a reasonable sized piece of cake.
A comfortable piece of cake.
Yeah. And now I didn't eat it all at once. I spaced it out across the day, but I ate all of it. Of the cake.
Do you feel shame like you needed to confess that you did not share the cake that you took home and said you were going to share with different people?
I can't decide.
Are you happy about it, or
I feel like it's
proud?
a weird mixture of pride and shame. I don't know if those can exist in the same space.
They can. With cake, absolutely they can.
But it was like, man, you really shouldn't have eaten all that. And it was like, shut up. Is there any more?
I ate all that.
I'll have some more right now.
Well, maybe the next time I will get the bigger cake.
Here at Radio U, we used to, for people's birthday, we take you out to lunch for your birthday, and then we'd come back and there'd be a cake, and everybody would eat cake. And we've eliminated the cakes, which I think is probably for the best.
Well, it became, we got cake happy, and it wasn't just for birthdays, if you remember. It'd be like just random days. If something special happened, there always just seemed to be a cake, and we all got tired of the cake.
No, we didn't.
Everybody else did.
You got tired.
No.
I never got tired of the cake.
You were the
Don't
exception.
you say things like that. Don't say things like that. We were not tired. You know what you just did?
No.
You just unveiled it. You're the reason we don't get cakes anymore.
No, I'm not.
Because you went to someone and said, we're tired of the cakes.
You're not going to make me into that. You're not. But we had cake like every other day, and it became stuff. Then we tried to back it up, and then suddenly we're just like, no cake.
You just
I'm the one who got the cake for the riot thing? No I encourage cake. But we had a lot of cake there for a while. There was always a cake. Your eye twitched.
You know what? Somebody that says, I encourage cake, but that's a cake discourager that is hiding in an encourager's clothing right there.
No.
Oh, my gosh, Nikki. You just showed me why we don't get cake anymore.
It's not from me, and I will swear to that. I'll swear on the cake. I will.
I think you were doing some swearing somewhere else about why is there so much cake.
No, but that was the reason why we stopped having it, because there was a cake like every other day. Then we all kept referencing that old Seinfeld episode about too much cake.
Can't we learn moderation?
No,
Can't we go back to cake every other day?
We can't go back to that, because then you'll take it home, and what's going to happen?
I'm going to blow up like a balloon, but you know what that balloon's going to have on it?
Icing.
A big smiling face. It's going to be a smiley balloon.
You're going to pop the balloon and icing will come out.
That's like, man, your mama's so fat. She broke her leg and gravy came out.
But it's just the buttercream frosting version of it.
Obadiah's so fat, he blew up and frosting blew out.
Just don't want this to happen.
You know what? I kind of do.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
Your mama's so fat, she broke her leg and gravy came out.